was the thing that made you question your beliefs? How did 9/11 affect your life? How did your family and the people around you react to your conversion to Islam?
I was a missionary. I grew up in a place called the Bible Belt, which there's more churches than there are McDonald's. He looked at me and just finger in my face and says, "You're a Muslim, man?" I returned the finger and I said, "No, I'm not a Muslim. My name and that word will never be connected." He says, "The FBI is here. What have you done? You've brought the most shame to our family. What have you done?" And the guy puts a Kalashnikov. The two people that were with me, they just hit the ground.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
On the net worth department, just doesn't seem to have any room to farm. It seems Moxie and Mickey just hunting him absolutely non-stop.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, we seem unperturbed. Just gonna come group up for this bottom tier too.
Are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, fortification guns out, but they've got another wave of creeps coming through, not showing any signs of stopping, but at the same time, PSG.LGD are mounting a bit of pressure up the top. Not to the same extent, and the bottom tower has already gone to liquid, so let's see if they mount a defense at top. What do you think?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I do have all of their TPs, but I think you might just have to let this one go.
Dire are scanning.
It's a little scary trying to get in there one by one, and very difficult to take that fight against the Disruptor. We've seen too many games, even at a TI level, right, where it's like, oh, we're playing against Disruptor. Oh, my carry just got glimpsed. I guess we lost the fight.
Like, well, what can you do?
Yeah, and neither of their big cores, the Lesh nor the Bristle, have anything to be able to deal with the glimpse currently. So yeah, they can't do anything there. It just has to be another trade, and we continue to kind of coast along.
Yeah, game kind of, I don't know, it's definitely not falling into a stalemate because both teams are taking things of each other, but yeah, one team getting a big advantage over the other. Objectives just being traded out. Incredibly tense. Who's going to make that first big team fight move? I feel like it should be Liquid, but finding the opening seems hard.
Yeah, I don't actually think that either team is looking for a head-on engagement for a little bit. To me, this next couple of minutes is so there's a blink on the Tiny, and actually Lina opting to not. Wait, does he have the Shadow Blade yet? He's just got a Crystallis picked up, and now he's got a Linken's Cube. So okay, I thought that was going to be the other pickoff piece for them, but different plan.
Open wounds out onto the bristleback.
The plan for Liquid is still very much like try and get a pick off on one of these side lanes. His eyes queuing up a blink dagger, so that's sort of how they get everything rolling. Is find somebody, get a roar. They've got BOTs on the Leshrac as well, so he can come TPing into the creeps anywhere. It's going to be a lot of playing the laning game for the next couple minutes.
Here we go. Smoke up from Liquid. Moving into this area where nothing to say is currently residing, but also fleeing very, very quickly.
They've got a ward that sees that the Enigma's top, so they
saw it.
Yeah, they know that one of the other cores has to be down here somewhere. And
I think they saw this smoke though. Have you seen this ward they've got in the triangle?
Oh, right.
For LGD?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they do seem to have backed away from it pretty smoothly.
Either in a fantastic read or they did see the smoke. I didn't quite catch it. But either way, nobody's going to die. Liquid just moving into the jungle, taking this area of the map. But again, you know, LGD will just spill out into the top half of the map. So it's kind of like this line between the two teams is constantly morphing, constantly changing, but it's never really leaning one way or the other. The map still belongs about 50-50 to each team.
Yeah, and you can see that on the net worth as well. It's just, we're kind of flatlining. We haven't moved past a 1K advantage for a little while. This is a very, very close game. Almost got the Scotty up on the Lifestealer, so Ame very much the plan in the team fights is just go in, latch onto somebody, and that's kind of it. You can't ever really afford to back down. Hopefully your supporting cast is just going to bomb all of their spells around you and you're going to be absolutely fine.
But we haven't had over a 2,000 net worth advantage in this game yet, I don't think. Yeah, just looking at the graph here, there's no point in the game where...
Yeah, keeping it close. This is the kind of Dota that we like to see. Yeah.
Wow. But I mean, you know, as they said on the panel, and also we mentioned with this draft as well, Liquid, with this draft, they could have tried running at LGD, and they did try running at LGD, but LGD were able to answer them in quite a few kind of little plays, and now we're sitting a stalemate in 23 minutes. Has to feel a little bit LGD favored.
I think so. I do favor their lineup going a little bit later. The Bristle is not the kind of raid boss carry that he once was, and I think the Lifestealer has some really nice matchups this game.
Yeah.
And then not to mention the Enigma, you know, we talk about the Disruptor as well going into the later stages.
That's for me.
So yeah, I think this is good for LGD.
Yeah, you've kind of got these two disco ball core heroes on the side of Liquid. Hang on, Boxy. Might be caught here. Innocent Season. More interest in the wards first, Glimpse after. But the BKB there from Boxy, so he is just going to let himself live.
Dang. If his early game hadn't been so good, he wouldn't have had that BKB at that point. Boxy putting in work, and that is going to keep him alive. LGD might be able to go and look for another one. You know, lanes are still not in a terrible position. They can just let the Eidolons do the job at mid. But actually, Liquid, I think they've just hit 2 more BKBs. Yeah, Mickey's got, Matumba Man's got. So this is big timing for them. And they've got the blink on the Beastmaster, just lining everything up at the exact same moment to go run at LGD now.
Do you think that the Lifestealer is strong enough to just walk into the middle of this fight with all the Liquids that got going on and just hit either the Bristleback or the Leshrac with open wounds and survive through it?
Yeah, I think so. So long as his team is nearby, so that if a roar comes out, they can like punish with an avalanche or blink black hole. I think that's very much the plan for LGD.
Some great positioning from them. BKB going to be hot from Matu straight off the bat. They're looking for the targets. They want to bring down Faith Beyond. No black hole. Does get used. Immediately killed off though. As they look on the sidelines towards nothing to say as well. BKB and Lee, but the roar is out onto Lifestealer. He talks about his team, but they are not here. Nobody is home for the side of PSG.LGD, and they will run down Ame. No response available from the PSG.LGD side. So Liquid will be taking this fight.
Radiant's top tower is under
They were just not expecting them to be right there. Faith Beyond positioning a little bit compromised. They wanted to move forward, but Lifestealer just too close to the Enigma. Lifestealer needs to be the first point of contact. Instead, they just walk right past him and bop Faith Beyond.
Yeah. The Bristleback hiding in the trees, using guerrilla tactics in this game, but working absolutely beautifully. That's no Monkey King, that's a Bristleback.
And it's going to be quite a lot of punish on the map, especially now that the black hole is on cooldown. Faith Beyond dying like that. Does mean that they're probably going to have to surrender just a huge chunk of the map to Liquid at this point.
Liquid, though, they're still not willing to push for any objectives right now just because they know that Roshan is in the respawn zone. If they end up messing something up here, feeding away a kill or something, then it could backfire on them massively. So I think that's why they're not committing, right?
Yeah, and a little bit of good luck for LGD in that the Roshan respawn ends up being almost exactly the black hole cooldown. So they're going to be able to get that back up.
Jump in, middle lane. There's going to be the Tiny caught out this time around, and Jinky doesn't have a play out of this one. He's going to end up dying. Poor old Tiny. Reduced to dust. As now Liquid come charging up the high ground. They recognize how important this Tiny is to the initiation of PSG.LGD, so they're just going to threaten him with the black hole still down.
Yeah, teams have gotten really good at this. It's a, look, LGD, you're not allowed to be out on the map while you don't have your big cooldowns. We are fully in control, and Liquid just setting up for the Roshan pit. They do have a full Daedalus now on Nothing to Say, so if he gets to just stand there and go turret mode, I think part of the plan here is that you can only roar one of them, either the Lifestealer or the Lina, and, well...
Jump in, roar out onto the Lina. Oh my god, Zai. A little bit too quick there, Nothing to Say. Even if you did get off the BKB, I'm not convinced you would have been able to get out of that one. That is a big loss for PSG.LGD. Just so close to bringing down that tower, but gets baited and, yeah.
Boxy gave up on camping the Roshan. He just waited an extra 5 seconds, though. That may have been tricky for him as PSG.LGD in the neighborhood. Picked up a gem to try and secure a little bit more control. But with no Lina, this is a very difficult fight.
And it's 40 seconds until they have both the Lina and the Enigma, so they're going to hit a really
and it's a double damage, of course. All right.
Oh my god.
Well, there was some luck for LGD on the respawn time, but a little bit of luck for Liquid on the double damage. We've got to keep things even this game. You know, it's been very back and forth. GQ, can you do it again, buddy? Nicotine needs
A little bit harder than last time. They have got the vision inside the pit. Jinky running over, going for it. No way, no way, no way. He doesn't get it this time around. Matu gets that Aegis, and Jinky doesn't make it a second time. Oh, so close, though.
If not for the Hawk, I think he would have had a decent shot, but Liquid were kind of able to mess with him a little bit. And Boxy doing a nice job keeping everybody back, and, well, Liquid just going to be able to keep on pressuring. Still have not really seen what this Nothing to Say Lina is able to accomplish in these fights.
Yeah, wasn't able to accomplish a tier 1 tower down at bottom lane, that's for sure.
It's a sad one. maybe Faith Beyond can sneak over somewhere nearby, pop down some Eidolons, and they can finish that one off. It shouldn't matter too much.
It stands as a testimony to Matt.
Yeah. That's a tombstone for Nothing to Say. Yeah, okay, the lead is now going to properly accelerate for Liquid. They can just get all of the lanes shoved in, able to play even more split up, not having to worry while Matumba Man has this Aegis. And LGD, it's still, keep bending. Hopefully snap back in one all-important team fight, though that might have to wait for this Aegis to fall out of the hands of Matumba Man.
Time for LGD to sweat. It's time for them to be trapped. We talked about the morphing map earlier on, and then, well, LGD's map is not very big at all anymore. Now the Aegis is in the hands of Mati. You can see how much this has changed the pacing of this game, and in a way, that's kind of why we saw Nothing to Say out so far at bottom earlier on. He just wanted to drag heroes down to the bottom side of the map. Just buy them enough time to get that black hole back up again, but yeah, it goes tragically wrong. And now they have an Aegis on the side of Liquid.
And if he had succeeded in drawing like one TP down to bottom and then leaving, and then that had been right around when Roshan respawns, could have been a completely different dynamic around the pit. Could have been LGD finding their opportunity to start taking control of this game, but it's always the little things, and this is certainly one of those games. And we do okay. We're going to have the Lincolns on the Lina. There's not that many ways to pop it, but it's also not impossible for Zai to deal with it. So we could still see this roar coming through, and that is.
Can he? Yeah, I guess he's got the Overlord. or the Hawk shard, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Two options of possibly popping that Lincoln Sphere, but of course, easier said than done.
LGD are smoked, and they're even popping a drum charge just to get out on the map a little faster and see what they can find. They know that somebody's going to come to this top wave. Mickey even blinking forward. They're pinging him now.
There might be more heroes than they expect.
Yeah. Liquid have a contingency plan.
Oh, it's a drag race. Liquid are actually driving away from PSG.LGD. LGD trying to pick someone off the back here.
Radiant's middle
Could be a dream entry to the fight. It could be awful as BKB pops from Foxy. No hesitation as he jumps in, grabs him, dives, smacks it into the ground, but it's Arme on the back lines trying to get on top of Mickey, and they take down the big boy. Faith Beyond is gone. So is Mickey. But Platoon Man looking for revenge, trying to get on top of Nothing to Say, and does so with ease. And now looks to his next target. That's going to be Innocence. Oh my god. Gets smacked into oblivion. Arme moving to the tree line, needs to get away from this one. TP just comes off cooldown. It's his rage just runs out. Doesn't even matter though. The Primal Roar is there. Pulverizes in, and Arme is out. It's a triple kill for Matumba Man and a full 5-man team wipe for the side of for the side of Liquid.
Mickey putting his life on the line there, but I think really winning the team fight for his team. He blinks past everybody, finds Faith Beyond in the back, just mows him down, doesn't get to do anything in the fight, and completely paves the way for Matumba Man to make the plays happen.
middle tower is under attack.
This poor Enigma doesn't get a chance to do anything in these fights, you know?
Yeah, he blinked back defensively, and then Mickey just jumped on top of him with the blink dagger of his own.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Even
attack.
blinking away from the engagements, he's not able to get out. It's just crazy.
And
Radiant's
LG just,
top
they
tower
can't
is
seem
under
to hold
attack.
their formation at all. The backline's always getting jumped on.
Radiant's top
Liquid
tower is
continuing to
falling.
extend this lead further and further. Nothing to Say had a moment of, we saw what he was capable of there, but it was just bringing down the two supports. And then all of a sudden he had a very big, angry bristleback in his face.
At the very least, the Aegis will now time out, but Liquid, they're able to take a lot with that Aegis. But a big team fight and a lot of the map and all the tier 2s. It's a big bounty. They're moving under the Hawk right now as well. I wonder if Nothing to Say will clock that. He just killed it off there, but actually, it doesn't really seem to matter to them. And I was a bit curious about what Xinqi's aiming to achieve. Is it
Yeah.
Foxy? Foxy has a blink though, just wow. Just blinks out of the range. He's playing with it right now. Ogre sealing around. Oh, glimpse back. All right, no worries.
Liquid making a beeline lift up in this area. They
Coming through the crack. Oh no, Matu gets on top of Innocence, takes him down with ease, looking for the next target, has to sit inside that kinetic field for a little bit. A charge forwards from Boxy, but it does look like PSG.LGD have evacuated the jungle with ease.
If it's just the +5 that they lose, that's a small price to pay for PSG.LGD for what could have happened there.
Yeah.
I think as soon as they put down that sentry and found that they were sitting right on top of a ward, started sweating. Oh, and Tani, we've seen this one before, trying to get the D-ward on the high ground.
Yeah, he's going to pay the price for that as Liam's coming over. There were two heroes from Liquid that TP top, try and catch Nothing to Say, but Nothing to Say is connecting back with his team again. Black Hole's going to come down just onto Foxy. Not quite catching Marty in that one, but they do get the kill on to the Primal Beast. May just kind of deal with these dragons here, but he's going to get roared up. Mickey in from behind as well. He needs a chance to get off the rage. Xinqi's going to try and give it to him, and he's going to be able to do exactly that. Turns around and eats up Matumba Man. Arme surviving and thriving through this fight. Mickey is just trying to bring down Xinqi on the sidelines here. Arme needs to leave. He has got the infest. Jumps inside, Nothing to Say, and backs himself out. Meanwhile, back towards the other side of the fight. Innocence has been left behind just a little bit, and Mickey is going to try and run him down. There is help coming, but it's not going to be here very soon. Nothing to Say is also on a Hawk here, so needs to be careful. The whole menagerie of that Beastmaster just running at them. Nothing to Say, Lina. They will leave, but honestly, that was a good fight for the side of PSG.LGD. They took out the bristleback.
Yeah, finally seeing what the Lina is capable of a little bit. Nothing to Say, just going full turret mode, clicks down the bristle. Liquid a bit scattered. You can see as this fight starts, they're not really there. The Leshrac and the Beastmaster are still just trying to run their way over from the top side of the map. Just takes them a long time to get there, and they can't seem to deal with the Lina just holding on to this high ground.
Yep, I love Faith Beyond's approach to that fight, A black hole is better than no black hole. Also, no black hole at position 4 would kill him off. It's fine. That's all he can contribute to the fight. That is absolutely fine. And he does throw a few stars from the sidelines as well.
Yeah, they finally get to have some structure
life.
to the fight.
Nothing to say. It's walking up into a very precarious position. How quick can he be on this BKB? The answer is very, as he turns around, just mows down Boxy. Boxy, though, very, very tanky. It's a TP out from the Luna, and no Beastmaster nearby. No, Zai was not quite in the neighborhood.
Finger's not quite fast enough for Mickey. He just picked up that
Dire's
Hex.
bottom tower has fallen.
That was a Hex he jumped on over. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess he had to pop it because there's Lincolns, right? So they had to start with something else, and then had to get a Soul Rip or something off first, and then they could Hex him.
Yeah, the early warning system working as intended.
Nothing to say after that last fight. Also picking up an AC here. It's getting some pretty furious right clicks going. It's actually going to be the Lifestealer who looks to pick up the Silver Edge. And worried, as this gets late, the Bristleback starts to fall off a little bit. Same can be true for the Leshrac.
Jump in, throw back down to the low ground onto the Bristleback Innocence. He's not happy with that, but he's going to be okay for the time being. Martu surviving through it as Boxy looking for nothing to say. They've got the Hex down on BKB due to earlier. Black Hole going to come down though, trying to save them. Nothing to say. Can he turn it around? They need to kill this Leshrac, and they will do exactly that. Nothing to say. Healing through it all. Oh my god, so low, but just blasting out the damage to heal on through it. They pulverize her into the ground. Die, Lina, die. She will eventually fall, but Ame's going to clean up the kill into Boxy. Ame just tearing through everyone in that odds. Insane's going to be the next target. They will kill off the Undying 4 dead on the side of Liquid. Finally, PSG.LGD find a fight, bash out onto Zai as well. They will get yet another as they bring down Zai. 5 dead on Liquid this time. 1 minute still on Roshan though.
The supporting cast from LGD playing out of their mind. The toss back, the save on the Lina there as he gets jumped in the backlines. Mickey thought he had NTS dead to rights, but patience from Faith Beyond. And feeling like maybe the game has just kind of turned at this point, Domad.
Like, it's insane. Like, I want to watch this back. Where was this lifesteal coming from? Was that just from the Enigma? From the race back totem? Is that how much damage was itself pumping up? Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know if there was like an open wounds that had spread to somebody else or something.
You know what? Yeah.
He got a little bit of a heal from the Lifestealer as well, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's not that much damage to get it to spread. For anybody who doesn't know what this is not just the original open wounds. Like, this is a very different open wounds that Lifestealer has as a shard. So every 500 damage, it splits off and goes onto another hero or another unit within 700 range. So it can be a real problem. And they lose. It does a lot of damage. 2% of the target's max health per attack from real heroes. So when you've got that synergizing with the Lina, nothing to say. It's just.
We'll get a feast on this blessed day.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, well, they'll get the D-Ward once again. A pesky D-Ward, which messed them up earlier on. And let them get that toss down to the low ground. Yeah.
I mean, I think they even had Obs and Sentry there, but it was Innocent smoked up, walking to the hill, pops the ward down.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
It's a double damage bot that nobody's seen, but nothing to say now spots it. I think he had a double damage in that last fight as well. So RNG smiling upon Lina a little bit here.
Well, you know, Bristle did get one in front of the Roche pit earlier. So
yes,
it's only fair.
All's fair.
Give a couple to the Lina. Yeah, gotta have rune control. If you don't have rune control and you don't get a DD, then you can hardly complain about it. Hawk's coming over, but Zunki said no. And he hits it with his tree. 25 now hit on the Leshrac though. He's got those Diabolic Edict explosions, so very, very good for pushing, but not bad in fights either. That damage can start to stack up.
Yeah, it does give them this kind of potential if they win a fight at this point. Could be staring down the barrel of multiple lanes of Rax gone. There's nary a buyback to be seen in this game. I think there's just 3 available currently. A couple of heroes just working on the gold.
Yeah, everyone kind of feeling like there's going to be a bit of a lull in the action. Roshan is now back up, so it is go time, and PSG.LGD doing the move. Interesting that actually the Edict explosions are going to synergize somewhat with the Viscous Nasal Goo, right? With the anti-armor from that, so could do more damage than we're used to seeing. As Marty just run into everybody, tossed back though. They want to bring him down. Marty getting straight on top of the leader, but the leader just out-damages him massively. Down goes the Bristleback. ZQ being beaten up by Boxy. He's trying to get the return kill here for the Black Hole coming out onto 2 as they swing around the back lines here. Leader getting beaten down by Mickey, but Mickey, he getting beaten down by Arme. Both the cores turn on him, tear him apart. You can't fight into that, not without your Bristleback. Another huge tossback coming out from GQ. And there is just nothing you can do about that. Matu just too far on the front line for his team to follow.
Beautiful toss back from JQ. The damage from the double damage Lina looking absolutely ridiculous. They just can't seem to kill him. Once Matu's down, Mickey tried his best, but he just doesn't have enough to get through both Ame and Nothing to Say, as Faith Beyond is finally starting to find these black holes, getting into the later stages of the game, and now well and truly feeling like LGD have taken control of this game.
Bristleback managing to get off 1,900 damage in that fight. That is meanwhile the Lina 7,500.
Is under attack.
Yeah, they just haven't been quite as connected on Liquid in these last couple of team fights. I think that the previous ones, it's been all 5 standing strong together, and the last couple of times, JinQ yoinking Matu back onto their side of the team fight.
Nothing to Say solo again, but those open wounds just lasting him back up to full HP. And now PSG.LGD, they've taken one lane of barracks, they're gonna take a second. Liquid. Now the buyback's to answer. Oh, by the way, they've got an Aegis and a Refresher Shard, in case you're wondering, so yeah, they are decked out.
Yeah, I don't know what you can really do on Liquid at this point. There's not too much more scaling for the Bristle. He is going to get his level 25 talent, which is a pretty big boost, but not as crazy as it once was. We're not going to be hitting that kind of 1,000 damage Bristleback mark. It's got to be some kind of pick off. You know, find somebody in a side lane. Though I don't know if LGD have any reason to split up for the remainder of this game. They're already 2 lanes of racks up, so they can just ball for the rest of this.
Yeah, they're best friends now. They're gonna hold hands and skip around the map together, and Liquid, they'll have a hard time breaking them apart. 3 years together, this team, the bond of friendship is very, very strong.
I don't think you want to play Red Rover against LGD. he's been sending Matu over every single time, and he's not very happy about it, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how else do you approach this fight, though? Because there's no way you can let anybody else go on the front lines here. Like, Matu is the best hero to get thrown into the entire team. I think no hero.
Yeah, you got to try and find Faith Beyond like they did in a couple of those previous fights, but he's got a Ninja Gear, so yeah, Ninja Gear, Octarine Core. He is permanently not spottable.
No. And in case you're worried about Nothing to Say, he now has an Aegis, the open wounds healing, which is basically Satanic, then an actual Satanic. And just in case it goes really, really wrong, they've got a Wind Waker on GQ now as well, who is just going to throw back Boxy and then Wind Waker himself down to the low ground style points. And so he just flies on out of there. Black Hole coming down onto Marvel. Just beeline in throw, hold number 2, catching out 3, absolutely beautiful stuff from Faith Beyond. The buyback is there from the Bristleback. It's not, though, from the left track, baiting them out with the first hold, jumping through for the second, and that's the big one. Catches 3. PSG.LGD looking to end this game in style. The buybacks are out, and they're going to respect them. They're in no hurry to really push this too hard.
A little bit of a moment of like, oh, you didn't call GG. Okay, I guess we'll have to keep going. Actually, getting the damage onto Ame. They thought the game might be over.
He manages to do it, and now they will gun down Matu. Matu kept alive narrowly by Insanity. The Soul Grip doing the work to get the Bristle to safety, but they're trying to hold their high ground right now, and with their Bristleback in the fountain, healing up, hitting the showers. LGD there, just going to take down the final lane of barracks. Jinkyu looking for a toss back, doesn't really find it here, still has that Wind Waker to work with should he really need it, but he's chilling, he's vibing, no worries. Tombstone easily killed off by nothing to say. The machine gun is going strong. Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, gotta do something here, Liquid. And another toss back, this time onto the Bristleback as he gets devoured by nothing to say. Sail looking towards the next target, that's gonna be